Homelander. Homelander stands as the most feared and powerful figure in the Boys universe, designed as a twisted reflection of Superman and Captain America. With abilities like heat vision, super strength, flight, and near invulnerability, Homelander is the epitome of physical perfection. But beneath that lies a deep well of instability. Raised in isolation under the careful manipulation of Vought International, he was never given the chance to develop normal human emotions. Instead, he became a narcissist, craving adoration and power, all while hiding his dark, violent tendencies behind a mask of patriotic virtue. Homelander is not a hero to the public. He's a god, a symbol of dominance. His relationship with Vought is complex, to say the least. He relies on their resources, but is constantly pushing for more control. His interactions, particularly with his son Ryan, reveal a man desperately seeking love and validation, though his cruel and manipulative nature often prevails. Homelander is, without question, both the greatest threat and most intriguing character in The Boys. But before we dive deeper, a real quick ask that if you're new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, please take a second to hit that subscribe button now. It's one small click for you, but a huge deal for us. Thanks. Billy Butcher. Billy Butcher, the hardened leader of the Boys, is the man driven by one thing: revenge. He was built as a parody of the Punisher, and much like that character, Butcher's pursuit of vengeance consumes him entirely. A former British Special Forces operative, Butcher harbors an intense hatred for Homelander, whom he blames for his wife Becca's disappearance and presumed death. His distrust for all Supes stems from their unchecked power and the chaos they inflict on the world. Butcher is ruthless, willing to cross any line, moral or otherwise, to dismantle Vought and bring down the Seven. His abrasive, single-minded approach often creates friction within his team, especially as he grapples with personal loss and the ethical dilemmas of his mission. The revelation that Becca is alive, raising Homelander's son Ryan, only deepens his rage and determination. Throughout the series, Butcher's character battles his own demons, as he fights not only for revenge, but for his own humanity, as he has to embrace some chemical alterations. Starlight. Annie January, known to the world as Starlight, brings a sense of hope and morality to the Boys. Gifted with the ability to absorb electricity and unleash it in powerful bursts of light, Starlight is one of the few superheroes who enter the game with genuine intentions. Raised in a religious household and pushed towards heroism, Annie wins a competition to join the Seven, only to discover that Vought International and her fellow heroes are not what they seem. Her ideals are constantly tested as she navigates the corruption and moral decay within the organization, particularly clashing with Homelander's twisted worldview. Despite the danger, Starlight remains resolute, using her powers and public platform to expose the dark truth behind Vought. Her relationship with Hughie Campbell provides her strength, though it complicates her role within the Seven. Over time, Annie becomes more assertive, fighting back against the influence of Vought while trying to stay true to her values, making her one of the most relatable and inspiring characters in the series. Queen Maeve. Queen Maeve, whose real name is Maggie Shaw, stands as one of the most powerful members of the Seven, thanks to her superhuman strength, agility, and invulnerability. However, beneath her tough exterior lies a disillusioned woman. Once idealistic, Maeve has grown weary of the corruption within Vought International and the moral decay of her teammates, particularly Homelander, with whom she shares a fraught and tense history. Although Maeve is publicly hailed as a symbol of bravery and nobility, and also corporate pinkwashing, she harbors deep guilt over her silence and complicity in the Seven's atrocities. Her struggles are further highlighted by her relationship with her ex-girlfriend Elena, where the battle between her public persona and private desires become painfully evident. As the series progresses, Maeve secretly works against Vought and Homelander, risking her life to aid allies like Starlight and the Boys. Her journey is one of internal conflict and redemption, as she has to balance survival with a desire to actually bring justice for a change. The Deep. The Deep, also known as Kevin Moskowitz, is a long-standing member of the Seven. Gifted with the ability to communicate with and command marine life, the Deep is what happens when Aquaman becomes a morally corrupt douchebag. He has enhanced swimming abilities and gills that allow him to breathe underwater, which he's self-conscious about. Despite these impressive powers, the Deep is ridiculed by his peers, particularly Homelander, who treats him as little more than comic relief. His public disgrace reaches its peak when he's ousted from the Seven following Starlight exposing his sexual assault, resulting in his exile. During this low point, the Deep falls under the influence of the Church of the Collective, a manipulative cult-like organization that offers him promises of redemption and reinstatement in exchange for his loyalty. His character arc revolves around his attempts to rebuild his tarnished reputation while grappling with feelings of inadequacy, regret, and his desire to be respected within the superhero community. Also, he really likes fish and no one seems to care. The Deep is a man not meant for the world above the ocean, morally bankrupt, utterly self-interested, and completely insincere. A-Train. A-Train, born Reggie Franklin, is the fastest man alive, and a key member of the Seven. Known for his superhuman speed, A-Train's career and identity revolve around maintaining his position as the top speedster, driving him to abuse Compound V, a performance-enhancing drug. This addiction spirals out of control, leading to reckless behavior and tragic consequences, such as the accidental death of Hughie Campbell's girlfriend Robin, which, ignites the entire conflict between the Seven and the boys. A-Train is the only member of the Seven that actually goes through any kind of real redemption arc. After Compound V damages his heart, he has to reckon with who he really is. And he has to come to terms with the fact that he's a token black guy in the organization that is the Seven. So, eventually, he has to help the boys. Black Noir. Black Noir is a mysterious and deadly figure even within the Seven. He's known for his silence, always concealed behind his mask, and he is a highly skilled assassin. Black Noir's powers include enhanced strength, agility, and durability, making him one of the most dangerous members of that team. He's exceptional in hand-to-hand combat, and his stealth abilities allow him to handle covert operations for Vought International, often assigned to eliminate threats or deal with delicate situations. Noir is fiercely loyal to Homelander on the surface, but his true motivations remain unclear for much of the series. His identity and backstory are shrouded in mystery, with his silence adding to the enigma that surrounds him. However, we do learn of a surprising vulnerability. He's murderously allergic to peanuts, a weakness that actually plays a pivotal role in a crucial plot moment. And if you haven't seen Season 4 yet, don't be surprised if he suddenly gets a lot more talkative. Stormfront. Stormfront, introduced as a new member of the Seven, initially appears to be a very progressive, outspoken hero, but her true nature quickly reveals something far darker. Born as Clara Vought, Stormfront is a powerful Supe with the ability to generate and manipulate electricity, unleashing devastating lightning strikes and creating electrical chaos at will. Like a Sith Lord. As her story unfolds, it becomes clear that Stormfront is not just another hero. She's an unrepentant racist and a dedicated supporter of Nazi ideology. Like I said, Sith Lord. Created during World War II by Vought International, Stormfront has lived for decades, using her powers and immortality to manipulate events and shape society according to her white supremacist beliefs. She forms a dangerous alliance with Homelander, encouraging his more violent and authoritarian tendencies, all while working toward her twisted vision of the world. Stormfront's involvement in historical atrocities and her manipulative influence over the public make her probably the most dangerous and detestable antagonist in the show, seeking to reshape society to fit her hateful ideology. Don't worry, she dies. Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy, introduced as a former superhero in The Boys, is a patriotic figure who once led the superhero team Payback, a predecessor to the Seven. Modeled as a parody of Captain America, Soldier Boy was the original Homelander. He possesses superhuman strength, combat skills, and durability, and also the mind, language, and temperament of someone from the 1940s. Hailed as Vought International's first major success, Soldier Boy was portrayed as a symbol of American patriotism during his prime. However, he's far from innocent. Beneath his star-spangled exterior lies a morally corrupt and reckless individual. After being captured and subjected to decades of experimentation by Vought, Soldier Boy is eventually freed and sets the stage for his return to the world of superheroes. His reappearance obviously stirs up tension with Homelander as both vie for dominance and control within Vought. Soldier Boy's return also brings unresolved conflicts and deep-seated grudges from his past, particularly with Black Noir and his former teammates in Payback. If you want to see Jensen Ackles with PTSD, Soldier Boy's your man. Hughie. Hughie Campbell Jr. was born in 1992, and his childhood seemed normal until his parents divorced, after which he was raised by his father, Hugh, who fell into depression and started overeating, leaving Hughie feeling insecure and fearful of turning out the same way. A massive superhero fan geek, Hughie owned a lot of Vought merchandise, including posters of the Seven and an action figure of A-Train. But his world changed kind of a lot when A-Train accidentally sprinted through his girlfriend Robin, turning her into a wet vapor. This event, as you might expect, deeply traumatized him, triggering panic attacks whenever he saw anything related to A-Train. Despite his fear, Hughie's quest for revenge led him to join the Boys, where he fought back against the Seven in his own way. While his anger sometimes drives him to make impulsive choices, he remains a kind-hearted guy with strong morals. In Season 3, Hughie briefly uses Temp V, which gives him teleportation, super strength, and healing abilities. Though he only has these powers for a short time, his intelligence and resourcefulness really shine. And considering he's a scrawny nerd who stands up to literal superheroes, you gotta say the guy is pretty brave. Kimiko. Kimiko Miyashiro, once a member of the terrorist group Shining Light Liberation Army, was captured and experimented on by Vought, giving her superhuman strength and an almost Wolverine-like healing factor. These powers, coupled with her total lack of self-preservation instinct, make her a fierce hand-to-hand combatant with incredible durability. However, due to the trauma she endured, Kimiko lost her ability to speak and communicate solely through sign language. Beneath her violent abilities lies a very compassionate heart, especially toward her teammates, particularly Frenchie, with whom she shares a very strong bond. Despite her violent past, Kimiko constantly grapples with her dark side, seeking redemption and control over her destructive powers. Her journey within the team centers around confronting her trauma and finding peace while still being a critical asset in the Boys' fight against Vought. Victoria. Victoria Neuman is introduced as a rising political star, advocating for superhero regulations and challenging Vaught's control. Initially, she appears to be a valuable ally to the Boys, working alongside them to expose the corruption within Vought. However, it's soon revealed that Victoria is playing a double game, secretly working with Vought while furthering her own personal agenda. Her powers, which are basically bloodbending, give her a deadly edge. Victoria is an interesting and complex character. She's driven by ambition and willing to manipulate, kill, deceive, do whatever in order to get to power. She's fiercely protective over the people she cares about, and she will do whatever she thinks is necessary to achieve her goals. Ryan. The son of Becca Butcher and Homelander, inherits his superhuman abilities from his father, including super speed and heat vision. Thanks to Vought International, his existence is initially kept secret, and after Becca's death, Homelander takes him in, trying to mold him into his heir. But Ryan's emotional bond with his surrogate father Billy adds layers of conflict to his upbringing. He finds himself torn between two powerful father figures, Homelander, chaos, domination, and, his biological dad, and Billy, who, despite his faults, tries to protect Ryan from the dark path that Homelander wants to lead him down, whilst also grappling with the fact that this kid is the product of the union between his wife and his worst enemy. But he's also the last piece of her remaining. Ryan may be the first natural-born superhero in the world of the Boys, and who gets to be the major influence in his growing up is going to make a huge difference within the universe of the show. And those are some of the most intriguing and complex characters from the Boys universe. But hey, that's just our opinion. Which ones do you think we missed, and who's your favorite? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss these deep dives and strange lore. See you in the next video.